Hey, this is Tasha. How are you? I'm going to hurry up and do this because I'm losing light now. Last year, I did a video called Being a Former Home Health Aide. And that video got close to 500 views. Now, I know that's not a whole lot. But for my channel, that's a good amount because I'm not a popular channel on YouTube. And, it is what it is. So I decided that I'm going to start telling some stories about my experiences being a former home health aide. Like I said in my last video, a lot of people look down on home health aides and laugh at the type of work we do and things like that. But somebody's got to do it. You know what I'm saying? So here goes. Now, before I continue, I want to put out a disclaimer. I am not here trying to bash anybody's religious beliefs, okay? This is not a religious belief bashing video, but it is surrounding a religious belief, okay? And I'm going to get into that in a moment. About 11 years ago, I had a case. The client was an older gentleman, probably in his 70s. His wife, nice people from, what I gathered when I first started working there. But upon working there, the first thing that the client asked me was if I was a Jehovah's Witness. So I said no. And he became upset. He said, well, I asked the agency to send a Jehovah's Witness home health aide. So I had told him, I said, well, the home health aide's religious beliefs are private. The agency does not ask what religion the home health aide is. So you can basically get someone that is a Jehovah's Witness, a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddhist. I mean, it's just on random. If the person is available to come and do the job, if they live nearby or whatever, however it works out, this is who you get. So he did not like that. He was like, well, do you know of any Jehovah's Witness home health aid agencies? And I was like, no, I do not know. I really do not know if there are any agencies that are only have Jehovah's Witness home health aides. So I began to work there. Time went on, and like every now and then he would bring up the fact that he wanted a home health aide that was a Jehovah's Witness. And so I told him, I said, listen, sir, at any time that you do not want me to work here anymore, you or your wife can always call the agency and ask them to remove me from the case. I can't guarantee you that you will get a Jehovah's Witness home attendant or home health aide, but if you don't want me here anymore, that is not a problem. I can always get a case. And at the time, I was working in Co-op City, and there is always work in Co-op City. Okay, so it really didn't bother me. So eventually, I got removed from the case and things like that. So that was one experience that I had. Now, the second experience, this is 2018. This is 5 years ago. So I had another client, and she so happened to be a Jehovah's Witness. And she began to ask me my beliefs, what's my religion and things like that. So I began to tell her, I said, I don't mean any disrespect, but I don't care to disclose what religion I am. I don't really do that. It's not because I'm ashamed, but sometimes that brings conflict. So, I just didn't feel comfortable. So I would do my chores. I would go to the store for her. I would, mop the floor, clean up whatever she asked me to do within the scope of practice. I would do it, and I would not have a problem doing so. So every now and then when I'm sitting down, if I'm taking a break or whatever, she would pull out the Bible and she would pull out the booklets and things like that. And she began to point out certain scriptures to me. And the favorite one that she would like to pull out for me was the one in the book of Timothy about silly women being laden with lust and things like that. Because she was like, I know that you are a young, silly woman. You know, you have a child out of wedlock. I mean, she really berated me. And I'm like, I'm not really here for this. Like, at first, I didn't say anything about it because I'm like, you know, I'm not going to pay her any mind. But then I had to basically check her one day. So one day, you know, she wanted me to do Bible study with her. And a lot of times she would want to sit there and read the Bible for like an hour or two or whatever. And then at the last minute, have me do everything around the house. And I had to tell her, I'm not here to do Bible study. I'm not here for that. I'm here to do work. I'm here to, you know, run errands for you, help you keep your house clean, go food shopping, but I'm not here for Bible study, okay? And I told her I really do not want to be a Jehovah's Witness. And I said this because I felt that she was really trying to recruit me to become a Jehovah's Witness. I mean, that's just how I took it. So when I told her that I do not want to be a Jehovah's Witness, she told me, well, you don't qualify to be a Jehovah's Witness anyway. And I'm like, okay, well, all right. I mean, because I didn't really want to be one anyway. So at that point, like I said, it's time for me to not be on this case anymore, because every now and then this woman would try to drop little things, try to say bad things about me, just really put me down. She looked down her nose at me, and mind you, this is another black woman, okay? This woman is old enough to be my mother, and she just, for whatever reason, you know, looked down on me. So I had told the coordinator that I do not want to be on this particular case anymore. So I told the client, like, the following day, like, I'm not going to be here anymore. I didn't really get into why, but I just said I'm not going to be here anymore. And she was like, well, why? You know, I'm like, you know, I can't. You know, I can't. I didn't want to really get into it, but after a while, I just did not want to stay there anymore, because she would really berate me, like, just put me down for, you know, my life and things like that. So I finally left this particular case. Oh, before I finish, one day I came into work and she had a bite on her finger. Okay, her finger was like swollen. It was red. It looked really infected. So she showed her finger to me. So she was like, well, do you think that this is a spider bite? So I said, to be honest, I really cannot tell you what it is. And at the time, I really could not tell her what it was. So I asked her, I said, why didn't you just go to the emergency room or go to the doctor today? I said, do you want to go to the emergency room now to see what's going on? No, you supposed to be in nursing. Don't you supposed to know these things? And I'm like, well, no, I'm not a nurse, and I'm not supposed to diagnose you with anything, because that's not within my scope of practice. I cannot tell you whether or not you have a spider bite. However, what I can tell you, if you believe you've been bitten by a spider, you should go to the emergency room. So she refused. So then I had to get on the phone and tell my coordinator about her finger, so I can cover myself, and it can be documented that, you know, she had this issue with her finger. And again, she berated me, and, you know, you supposed to be a nurse, and don't you want to go to nursing school? You supposed to know these things. And I'm like, I can't take this lady anymore. So it was, with her, it was a little bit more than just like religion. It's just I guess I took it as if she was looking down on me because I was, you know, younger than her. I was a single mother. And then she had the nerve to ask me how I paid my rent, and I live in public housing. She lived in public housing herself. Oh, you don't make a whole lot of money. How do you pay your rent? How do you pay your bills? And I'm like, I pay them just fine. Like, why is that any of your business? So I eventually left this case and I started at a new case. So while I was on this new case, this former client, she began calling the agency asking for me. And, I guess she kept annoying these people. So one day the coordinator had called me and basically tried to threaten me to leave my new case and go back to her. And I told her I do not want to go back to her. And I believe that the client was on the other end listening. I don't know why I felt like this, but that's just how I felt. And I told her, like, I don't want to go back. And I explained mid-sentence, the coordinator hung up the phone on me. So I'm like, you know what? I can't deal with this. So to make a long story short, this is how I feel about the whole religion thing. As a home health aide, you do not have to disclose your religion to your client or their family members, okay? Whatever you practice, whatever your belief is, you could be an atheist, a Buddhist, a Christian, a Muslim, whatever. You do not have to disclose that. Now, if you're a Muslim, most people can tell because of Muslim women, they wear the garb and things like that. But other than that, like, you do not have to tell your client what religion you are. And if they feel that you should, you can always ask to leave the case. Now, there are some clients out there, and I will use an example, like clients who are Christian and then they have Christian home health aides, and they start talking about Christianity, and they start talking about how good God is and things like that. And that's not a problem. If you as a home health aide choose to do that, then that is at your that's at your own will. That's what you choose to do. But if you are a home health aide and you go on a case and they are a Buddhist, for example, and they ask you if you are a Buddhist, and whether you are a Buddhist or not, if you do not want to tell the client your religion, that is your right. Okay, a client cannot say, oh, I want a Buddhist home health aide. I want a Jehovah Witness home health aide. I want a Christian home health aide. Personally, I do not believe that a person's religion has anything to do with their work ethic. It has nothing to do with that. If you are a good home health aide, you are a good home health aide. And if you just so happen to be a Christian, fine. If you just so happen to be Muslim, that's fine. Whatever religion you are, that's your business. You do not have to tell the client or their family what religion you are. And if they have a problem with it, you can tell them to call the agency and ask that you be removed from the case. Okay, so I don't know if I am the only person that have experienced something like this. Leave your comments. You can like, dislike, share, comment, subscribe to this channel. I need subscribers. So that's about it. I'll be telling some more stories probably tomorrow because I'm losing sunlight now. And so that's about it. All right. So until next time, this is Tasha Regine. Take care.